The third example Kant gives involves somebody who should develop his, who Kant says should develop his talents. And Kant says, you can't will that everybody not develop their talents as a universal law of, just letting your talents go to waste. I'm not entirely sure why this is the case. Certainly it would be bad if everybody did that, because we wouldn't have all sorts of good stuff that we only have because people develop their talents. But um, uh, what Kant says here is, as a rational being, he necessarily wills that all his powers should be developed, since they serve him and are given him for all sorts of possible ends. I'm not entirely clear how that's supposed to work, but the idea is that there would be some contradiction in everybody willing that their talents not be developed. And the last example Kant gives involves this man who is flourishing but seeing everyone else struggling. And he says, why should I bother to help them? Let them do as they will, I won't get in their way, but I'm not going to help anybody. Kant says this person is not acting according to duty, because the categorical imperative says he should help others. Now, why does it say this? Well, he is going to want the help of others at some time. And so he cannot consistently with that will that nobody help him. So the idea here is, he's going to, since he's going to need somebody's help at some time, he can't will a universal law of people not helping each other. Now, if you consider it a case where somebody is like, Superman or some kind of Superman who will never need anybody's help and can get anything he wants just by wishing it were so. That kind of person maybe might be exempt from this, and that's going to cause some problems. But at least in the ordinary cases, it seems to cover the rest of us. We all will want other people's help at some time, so we can't will that a universal law of not helping others. That's why Kant says, this cannot work as a universal law. Okay. As Kant says, a will which decided in this way would be in conflict with itself, since many a situation might arise in which the man needed love and sympathy from others. And in which, by such a law of nature sprung from his own will, he would rob himself of all hope of the help he wants from himself. Yeah. Okay, so that's the four examples Kant has there. Kant also makes the distinction between two ways things are wrong. Some things are wrong because you can't even imagine them being willed as a universal law. These are narrow duties. And there are other things that you just can't will. Maybe you can imagine everybody, willing these as a universal law. But other things you can't will as a universal law because of other things you will. I think that fourth case is best captured this way. You should help others because you're going to want the help of others at some time, and thus you aren't going to will that nobody help you. Well, since you will that others help you, you can't will a universal law of people not helping. That just contradicts with something else you will. And these are wide duties, Kant says here. This is page 424 in the old version and 91 in the top of the page numbers. It is impossible to will that their maxim should be raised to the universality of a law of nature, because such a will would contradict itself. Okay, and again, one thing Kant says about these things is that they come from pure reason itself, not from specific features of human nature. And that's very important to him, because the way we know about human nature is by observation, by looking around. That would be empirical, and he wants things to come from reason itself. He wants these things to be pure. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this lecture. This allows me to now tell you about your assignment, which I think I'm going to tell you about in the email I send out, but let me tell you about it this way too. So, send me a question. Send it to my email address, niladri@gmail.com. I'm going to send that in the email. Right. send me a question, and I'll put up another video soon enough that answers some selection of student questions. Maybe all of them if everyone writes a good question. But if there's not enough time for that, or if some people write, you know, duplicate questions, or if people write really silly questions, maybe I won't answer some of those. Really silly questions would only be something like, why does the book weigh as much as it does, or something like that. Okay, questions like, I don't understand what this word means are great questions. Ask those questions if you don't understand what a word means. Questions of the form, why is Kant saying this? What is going on this page? I can't understand this paragraph, just tell me what it means, are good questions. Go ahead and ask those. And I'll answer them in a upcoming video, which I'll probably put up sometime around Saturday. So if you can send me your questions by Friday, and I'll spend some of Saturday making the new video and answering the questions, that'll be good. So that's how we can do this interactive thing during e-learning week. Okay, so that's your homework assignment. We don't have a quiz this week because I don't think that this medium is optimal for quizzes, but it is good for you sending me a question, and that's what you'll be graded on, so make sure you send me a question. It can be one sentence long, that's fine. If you feel that you need a full paragraph to develop your question, that's fine. If you actually want to do your question as sort of an objection to Kant, or if you want to, on the other hand, defend Kant from some of the insinuations I've made here about how some of his examples don't work, wow, that's impressive, and that will make me very impressed with you. But, anything is fine. Just send me whatever good question you have. Yeah, okay, well, I think that brings this to a close. I hope this has gone well, and I hope we're not going to have technical difficulties with, static or snow going across the screen, or, whatever kind of chaos going on. I feel a weird temptation to do something ridiculous just to make this appropriate for YouTube, but I might save that for the next video. Okay, well, I will see you guys, well, you'll see me on Saturday, and I'll see you in class next week. Bye.